So welcome everyone to week 7. Congratulations on getting through to this point. You are into the home stretch. I want to congratulate you on keeping going and building your strength week by week. Sometimes it's hard to get to the videos, but you've done a great job in sticking through and getting to here. Whether it's taken you 7 weeks to get here or 3 or 4 months, I just want you to just acknowledge yourself for all the hard work you've put into this point. We're going to go ahead into today's workout. It's a little bit different. We're going through a flow, moving from one exercise to the next. You've built a wonderful foundation and a lot of the movements you've already experienced. So it's just a different way of going through, moving through a faster pace and not repeating them as often as before. I'm really excited for today's workout. We're going to go ahead right away and hit the mat. So we're ready for our week 7 flow. We're going to go ahead and get started on the chair just to warm the body and the breath up. Grab a pillow or a squishy ball or something you can place in between your thigh bones. Sitting up nice and tall on the chair, sit towards the front of the chair. From here, taking the hands to the rib cage. We're going to inhale into our base of the ribs here. Exhale a breath, warming up the pelvic floor and transversus. So inhale. Exhale, start a lifted energy from the bottom of the pelvic floor. For 2 more, inhale. Exhale, lift. Feeling those deep pelvic muscles lift. Inward and upward, exhale. Taking the hands to the low part of the stomach, the low belly, inhale. Exhale, connect. Drawing that tissue away from your hands, inhale. Like you're doing up that seatbelt across the front body, or drawing those 2 pelvic bones towards each other. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Watch we're not getting grippy at the base of the ribs, but really getting connected down low and out. And last one. Inhale. And exhale. Squeezing gently in on that ball or the pillow or blanket between your thigh bones. We'll inhale, raise the hands forward. Exhale, draw the arm bones back. So you're rolling up onto the balls of the feet, gently warming up the inner thigh muscles. So you want to have a very soft, gentle squeeze on the ball. Hands come forward, inhale, exhale back. 2 more here. And back. Thinking of stacking that rib cage right over top of the pelvis and feeling the sternum drop a little bit towards the low pelvic bowl. For last 2. And last one. Using that breath audibly to warm up the body. We're going to go larger circles here for 5. Keeping going with those ankles. 4. Just a very gentle flow getting started today. 3, 2, and 1. Reversing directions there. Inhale, 5. Thinking about stirring the arm bone in its socket, avoiding any range that's clicking or clunking or that moves your rib cage out of position. Good. Go ahead and grab the ball or the pillow into your hand here. We're going to bring it out front. Inhale and exhale, we're going to turn in one direction. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn the other direction. So you inhale through center and imagine that your navel is tracking the ball and your nose. Inhale, nose and navel track the ball. Keeping equal weight on your sitting bones. Exhale and turn. Last 3. Soft shoulders. 2, you can hold the ball lower if that's more comfortable for the neck and shoulder. Otherwise, keeping it up parallel to the floor, soft shoulders. This time, inhale, turn, inhale again, and open. So we're going to inhale through center, speeding it up a little bit, warming the body. Exhale, turn. Inhale, exhale, turn. So you're still picturing as though the navel's tracking the ball to the very end range of the twist, and then you can open the arm to finish, opening up the chest. So for 3, So you're warming up your crisscross oblique muscles here, your deep inner core, your shoulders, and finally here the pectorals. Hinging forward slightly, bringing the hands back behind you, and then forward, changing the ball or moving the pillow to the other hand. Inhale up. Good. Exhale back. So another 5. Really think of opening through the front of the chest here, your fascial system, your connective tissue. So you don't want to stress or strain, but you want to imagine that you've got this deep, dense tissue in the front of your chest, and you're just very lightly spreading it and opening without getting too grippy through the backs of the shoulders. So last 1, and out. Bringing yourself up into standing position. From here, we're going to sit back, reach towards that chair. So finding the arches and liftedness of the feet, lifting into the pelvic bowl here, long through the back body, long through the front body, and stacked. Ribs and sternum over the pelvis, but broad clavicles. Inhale, sitting into the chair. Exhale, coming back up. So you're going to go for 10. Easy range of motion here. You're not working too hard, not too aggressively at this point, but just getting the hinges going, finding all the right places. So hinge, sit, and back. Last 5, keeping equal weight on the inner border of your foot and the outer border of your foot. If your toes appear to be scrunched together, imagine spreading them wide apart and having them be active as part of this motion. Your feet are so connected to what's happening at your hips, so if you have a strong platform through your feet, your knees are allowed to just hinge and your hip can do the work it's meant to do. Coming wide to your mat here, we're going to do 5 hips, pelvic circles in one direction. 4, good, 3, 2, and reverse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and to center. Thinking about widening the knees out to the sides over the ankles, we're going to widen the leg bones over the knees and then back up to center. So think widening and then up. So for 5, just warming up the hip and the knee at this angle, thinking about lengthening the adductor, the undersurface and inside of the leg, working the back line of the body. As you come up to the tall position, think about engaging through the back body. So lengthen through the inside and engage through the back to come up. You're going to do 2 more. Inhale and up, and 1 more. Equal weight inner border and outer border of your foot. Coming back through center, getting a little bit of a hinged warm up here. So hinge and step hands forward and switch. So we're just warming up the long lines of the body, the pubic bone connecting to that sternum, bottom rib, so that you're not in an arched position in your low back. Being mindful too, though, that we're never tucking under. It's lots of length reaching down to the floor behind you. Last 2. And last 1. Giving your legs a gentle shake out. Here, a soft turning of the ball in the socket. Just for a few, watch that you're not getting grippy or painful inside of the hip joint. Just small motions over to the other side. Easy turns. Stacking that pelvis nice and level, long and tall. Beautiful. Hopefully you feel the breath warmed up and you're ready to get into our flow series today. So we're going to take it to the chair to start with our chair plank. I'll go ahead and start the timer. So moving into the workout today, we're going to find our hinge. You want a strong, stable, solid chair or sofa, couch. You're going to place your forearms onto the chair. Take that moment and connect down deep with that pelvic muscle system, reaching one leg back. From here, a strong foot into the floor, equal weight on both sides of the feet. Inhale and exhale. You're going to get your second foot back. You can start with your hips high and then start to drop them until you're in a nice long straight line. Sometimes a mirror is really helpful, so if you're not sure, you want to be mindful that you're not sagging or that you're overly rounded here. You're thinking about lengthening from the crown of your head all the way to your heels. Your legs are quite strong and active. They're not squeezing or clenching, but they really are empowered to do work here as your core is just holding its strength and alignment. You've got a few more seconds to go. Exhale, breath. Coming on up from here. We're going to go into a runner's lunge. So picking up the weights, getting ready to step back. You're going to try to hang on to weights for most of the workout today. So we're stepping back with the right foot, left foot, and back. Left foot, and back. And then coming through to the runner's lunge. So hands are alternating. You can step through level 1 and then lift, or even lifting your foot onto a chair for extra balance. So to flow through level 2, you're moving all the way through the move, getting tall in between, connecting with the core, feeling that leg just swing nice and smooth. You're thinking about right angles at the elbows. You can even bring that arm fairly high to about parallel to the floor. We're sitting back into our front leg hip so that that glute is getting the shared work with the quadricep. From here, we're going into a lateral raise. Staying with these weights or going up to 5 pounds probably maximum. From here, let's go wide with our feet. We're getting ready to raise our arms to the side, drop into a small, not too deep to get started here, wide leg lunge, or squat, I should say. So exhale and lift. Remember here, it's like you're supported from underneath the arm. It's like something is helping to lift the weight of the arm, and that comes from your middle back. All the muscles, your scapula stabilizers. We're being real mindful here not to bring those shoulder blades up into the ears. And we're really flowing today with the breath, and as always, we're exhaling, inhaling. Keeping equal weight on the feet. We don't want to have any knee pain here, so we need to keep balanced through the foot and move at the hip. From here, we're going into an upright row. So we're going to stay with the weight you have, either a 3, 2, or a 5, and we're stepping back into our upright row. So coming low, and we're going to stay in the position for the duration today. So it's wide and down. So there's lots of length through the spine. You can get as low as you're willing to go, where you feel uncompromised in the knee. Don't worry, we'll be doing this again in round 2 through our flow, so you'll get to do your other side. So high version would be here, arms only. Midway would be half step back, small double knee bend. And really working through to that front leg glute and adding an element of challenge. You're down nice and low for the duration. This is for lots of different things. It's shoulders, it's gluteal muscles, it's quadriceps, it's core. It's posture. Keep those ribs connected through to the pelvis. We're going to place those down, head down to the mat into our push-up flow. So bringing yourself down onto the mat. Hands are wide here. Walking the knees back slightly. Bringing the hips forward slightly. Keep them slightly high here. Wide elbows and press. Take the time to find that deep internal core system first. Stay with that. Inhale, exhale. And then from there, imagine again that that head is all in alignment with the rest of your spine. You're staying tall or strong through your shoulders. So envisioning like your strong dancer's frame. As you come down the floor, you push into the floor pushes back into a strong, stable force between your shoulder blades. This is for the backs of your arms and for your chest. I've got my hips up fairly high in the air here. One more for good luck. Coming back up to standing. We're going to pick up our weights and move into our bent over row. So from here, coming forward, weights towards a chair or out in front of you. Nice strong hip hinge. Find your connection to your core. Starting to bring the elbows high to the sky. You're drawing the shoulder blades very softly towards the midline of your body. Be mindful not to squish them here. And again, I'm going to check chin to the back of the throat, small chin tuck to maintain length in my neck. Adding an element of challenge, I can step back in this position. If you find you start moving around in your pelvic area, you experience pain in your SI joint or your knee or your foot, just keep 2 feet on the ground throughout. Good. You can add speed. You've got the hang of it now, so now's where you get to add weight and speed to your workout. Beautiful. We're going into our side lunge, picking up your weights. Lighter weights if you'd like, or heavier weights would be fine for this too. Wide as you can go comfortably here. Stack through the spine. We're going to sit over to one side, sitting really as much as you can into the butt. Stick that butt out as much as you're capable of. Hands are going to stay high. We're on the one side to get started. This is working the quadricep and the glutes at a different angle than when we're straight out in front. So as you're here, you want to watch that knee is not going to the inside. You've got big toe connection and you've got baby toe connection. And you're reaching into the sitting bone, into the buttock. Trying to keep your arms parallel to the floor. If the fatigue sets into the neck, you can drop just a little lower here. They can go on to your hips, level 1, or even just a small bend and back. Beautiful. From here, we're going down onto the mat for a high plank hold. So coming down onto all fours, setting your posture, your neck, your shoulder blades, trying not to sag between the blades. Inhale, step one leg back. Exhale, core connection, other leg back. Here we're going to bring the hips slightly high and then back to a straight line. So it's high hips and then try to find a long straight line. I imagine as I'm doing this, as I stay connected to those deep core muscles, it's as though my heels are being pulled to the wall behind me, even though you wouldn't see them moving. My fingertips are active, my whole hand is active here, supporting me right through to the ball and socket of my shoulder. I'm mindful of where my head is in relationship to the rest of my spine. And I'm thinking about finding a nice long straight line. One more here. Coming back up into standing. We're going to move now into a high hamstring curl. So bringing this onto the mat here. You're going to find your hinge, hands to the mat. Stepping back with one leg. Keeping your hips level, we're going to lift one leg off the ground. You're going to go into a hamstring curl here. So it's bend and lengthen. Bend and lengthen. As you're doing this, your back and your spine is staying in the same shape throughout. You're really focused here, your hamstring, the back of your thigh between your sitting bone and the back of your knee. That's where you want the effort to come from. You're thinking equally as though you're pulling elastic towards the bum and then lengthening the leg back out away from you. Of course, we have our alignment. The foot on the ground is maintaining its arch, start to finish. Keep going for another few. We're there at the end of that, heading into our tricep. We're going to pick up our weights. Coming into a backward step. Long, tall spine, stacking the body. Lifting that front heel. From here, bringing the arms back behind through a broad chest. So your sternum is connected down, ribs to the pelvis, but then the collarbone's broaden, the arm bones move back in the socket slightly. We're bending and straightening. Bend and straighten. So get going with this motion. Again, remembering you can add a little bit of speed now since you know these motions, these movements. Once you feel capable and aligned and your technique feels good, add speed. To finish off our last 15 seconds, we're going to come onto that front foot, lifting the back leg, maintaining that length, working the back of your arm here to straighten that weight back behind you. You're close to the end of this move. Keeping going there. Beautiful. We're going to take that into some low side hops. Hang on to those weights. Hands out in front. Inhale here. Find that hinge, wide feet, strong arches, sitting into the buttock as much as is comfortable for you. Staying low, find your hop. So again, get a hang of the motion. Feel the arch resilient and strong on the landing of each foot. Once you have that, go ahead, get the speed going. You want to share this load between your quadricep and your buttock. That requires you to sit a little bit lower sometimes to feel it. It's all of the quad, the inner aspect and the front thigh. So if you're really grippy up here, maybe come a little higher. That usually has to do to the position of your foot and the strength of your hips. You've got 10 seconds. Keeping the hands where they are. Getting as low as you can without losing alignment this way to the midline. And 1. Beautiful. Taking these down there, and we're going to go down to the mat. So inhale, exhale, come down. Find your alignment. Inhale. And exhale. Stepping back. Strong, broad shoulders. Other leg back. From the low belly, you're drawing one knee towards the chest. Other knee. So as one knee comes in, you think about pressing back the other foot in the opposite direction. I'm really using my breath here to allow me to get into that deep core. Trying not to over round through the shoulders, being aware. 10 seconds to go. Remembering you can come high onto a chair to complete this. If down on the mat feels too intense at this time. Beautiful, you've gone through one round. We're back to the start. So back to our chair plank. Inhale, exhale, hinge. Elbows onto the chair. Stacking your shoulders over top of your elbows. Use your forearms here to support you. One leg back. Find the breath. Deep core is active. Chin to the back of that throat. It's a long hold here. Picture a pillow or a squishy ball between your thighs. And imagine that you're squeezing them together and then drawing that ball or that pillow up towards your pubic bone and into your pelvic floor. Strong feet here too. You've got 15 seconds. Use that breath. Stay connected to the low belly. Long, strong lines here. You're almost there. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Coming on up. Getting ready for runner's lunge on your other side. So bringing your other leg forward here. Stack your body long and tall. Stepping back, find your 90-degree angles of your elbow and your knees and your hips. Step forward, either onto the chair or high foot. Step. Once you feel like you've got your weight planted properly on your front leg, you're in control, you're going to go ahead and really move all the way through runner's lunge, start to finish. As the knee comes up, it comes from deep within the core, and you feel a connection to the inner border of your foot throughout. If you get off balance, do just that. Stop, pause, recover. You want to feel, even if you've lost balance slightly, that you either recover by grounding your feet, or if you're just slightly off, you can recover mid-lunge. We're going into our lateral raise. So getting ready for this move here. Wide knees here. Remember, we're reaching wide out to the inside of the knee. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Maybe you're ready to go up in weight. If you've been at a 2 or no weights, maybe you're ready for that 2 or 3 or 5. Typically for a move like this, most of you are probably staying at 5 pounds or less. There may be a few of you that are playing in the realm of the 8, but you need to be mindful with this particular move. It requires lots of shoulder stabilizers, and if you move with a weight that's too heavy, what ends up happening is you end up into the neck and the upper trapezius, and then you just end up with tight and sore shoulders. Beautiful. So we're going into our low squat pulse. We're hanging on here. So coming down with our upright rows. I should say lunge. There you go. So step back. High elbows, low shoulders. Here you're working in the realm of 3 pounds to 5 pounds. And again, those of you who are capable of the 8s with that previous exercise, you probably can also pull that off here. But be careful that, again, it doesn't feel as though your arm bone's being pulled up in the socket. Feels like the arm bone, recover, can find balance, and the arm bone, can drop to the bottom of the socket as you're raising your elbows. I'm alternating feet this time. So what you may choose to do is one round doing one side and the other round doing the other side. If you feel you're someone who might lose focus, just alternate throughout. We're getting ready for our bent over row. So finding that hinge, inhale. Exhale, hinge. Hands onto the chair or just hovering off. Watch that those ribs don't pop. Connect them through to that pubic bone. And then elbow. So I'm going to add speed with this round. So it's a quick motion, but you're still focused in the same way. Through the core, chin to the back of the throat, really focusing on your alignment. You're doing really, really well. Just allow yourself to stay with your body and really focus and build efficient, beautiful biomechanical motion that's resilient and will allow you to be injury-free. Good, you've got 6 seconds to go. You're getting there. Beautiful. From here, we'll place these down onto the mat. Getting for a high plank, hold high to low. So coming forward, hands and knees. Inhale, find that low belly. Align the spine, step back. Leg bones being drawn into the socket as you're stepping back with the other side. From here, we're high hip and low hip. So hinge and then finding straight. This is great if you have a mirror. It can really help you to see where you sometimes think you are in space is even not remotely where you actually are, and that's quite normal. Your mirror is your most cost-effective coach that you can have, and don't be afraid to use it. You just need a small little one that you can buy inexpensively to use for the exercises. Beautiful. Coming on up to standing into our hamstring curl onto our opposite side. So finding our hinge, getting ready to step back. Find the arch in the inner line of that whole foot and leg, stepping back here. We're moving forward, lifting the leg, and then we're going to curl and lengthen. So just be careful through the shoulders here that you're not pushing into the chair so desperately hard. It's a soft placement of the hands. If you find that having a soft placement in and of itself is the challenge, you may just stick with just hovering the leg off the ground. So it's a curl and then lengthen. Curl and lengthen. So you know it's the back of the thigh working here, not the low back. So you can really picture as though you're pulling an elastic and then the lengthening from the buttock, back of the thigh. Keeping going here. Almost done. And we're into our high step, tricep balance. High step, tricep balance. All right, here we go. Nice, long, and tall, stacking that body, lifting that front heel, broad shoulders here. Connect that rib cage down through to the pelvis here. hands back behind you. And we're inhaling, exhaling, adding a little bit of speed if we're able to, using the backs of our arms here. We're long and tall, we're strong and ready. Really lengthen through the back of those arms. Almost there. So keeping it going, we're going to finish off with this move here. If you like, remember you can go onto that front leg, long and tall, connected, and doing it in this position for a little element more of challenge. 3 to 5 pounds is great. After 5 pounds, remember that's when those shoulders often round forward here in this position. Stacking that chin. Good, connecting ribs and pelvis. Beautiful. From here, we're going to just place our weights down. And we're going to come back up, widening our feet here. We're going to inhale up. Exhale, bring our hand over to one side. Inhale, back up. Exhale, over to the other. Inhale here. Exhale and reach. So we're just ending here with an active stretch. Over to the other side. 2 more, inhale. And exhale, reach. Back through center, inhale. And exhale, reach. Coming back up to tall. We're going to inhale here and reach back behind. Inhale and reach back. So just feel your body just softly twisting here. Just really releasing the exercises that we worked on today. 2 more, inhale. And 1 more. Beautiful. Coming back through the center point here. In this position, we're going to bring our hands high, just a little bit on up overhead. Turn the palms to face forward. And you're just going to bring the arm bones slightly back and forward. So here it's just really reaching. We're going to lengthen and back up. So forward, cactus arms, and reach. Forward, cactus, and reach. 1 more, inhale, open, and expand. Bringing the hands together here. Inhale, exhale, and round. And then open. And then together, round, and open. Together, round, and open. Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed our week 7 flow. I'm really excited to take you through into week 8 and just keep going. You really are doing an amazing job.